Okay.
We are trying something new today. For one, I never wear my hair in pigtails, and I don't know, they were just calling my name. I did it the other day, and I just felt really playful, cute. I don't know. We're rolling with it. If you've clicked on this video, you're probably wondering how YouTube changed my life, and that is my hypothesis because that's the title of this video. Or you may be wondering, should I start a YouTube channel? Is it worth it? Or maybe you're thinking about it and you just need more affirmation on why you should. And maybe I don't even have answers for you. But I'd like to think I have some things to share, and hence why we're doing this right now. I'd like to think YouTube and I have been in a long-term, long-distance, low-commitment relationship. I love that scene in Barbie. So YouTube has been my low-commitment, long-term relationship for quite some time now. And it's the relationship I continue going back to. No matter how many times I think I'm done going back to her, I come back again. And I think to myself, there must be a reason, you know? So here we are again. I have been on this platform off and on for 6 years now. And even before those 6 years, I thought about starting a YouTube channel for so long. I am such a child of YouTube. I have always loved YouTube. I remember watching like Nigahiga videos in my bedroom when I was like 11 years old, 12 years old. I don't know. I don't want to date myself, but it was a long time ago. I remember watching such funny skits, and like I loved that. I loved that era of YouTube, and I miss it dearly. And ever since I was a little kid, I knew I wanted to work in entertainment in some way. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be so specifically, I wanted to be a news anchor on E-News. I don't even know if they have that anymore. I think they do. I don't watch TV anymore. Everything's on social media or TikTok, you know, or YouTube. So I don't know if it exists anymore. But anyway, I've always wanted to work in entertainment ever since I could remember. And when YouTube came out, I loved watching YouTube videos and vlogs and makeup tutorials. And so 6 years ago, I finally decided to give it a try. And YouTube and I have been in a long distance, low commitment relationship off and on for 6 years now. And this past year or two, I decided I wanted to change that because, like anything in life and in our relationships, I think the real fruit and value comes when you fully commit to something, like for real, for real. And because of this long distance, low commitment relationship I've been in with YouTube, I am recommitting myself this year. Over the past 6 years, YouTube and perhaps some of you watching this video have seen me through so many eras of my life. I mean, 6 years is a long time, and it would be ridiculous to say I'm exactly the same person 6 years ago. I mean, 6 years ago, I was a teen. So no, I'm not the same person. Damn, I almost can't say that anymore, that 6 years ago I was a teen. Yikes. But over the past 6 years, despite it being a long-term, low commitment, non-exclusive relationship, it's seen me through so many chapters of my life, and it's taught me so much, just as any good relationship would. And I was reflecting on the past 6 years and everything that I was able to capture in my YouTube journey thus far, and how every time I gave up and was inconsistent with YouTube, how much I would beat myself up for giving up. And that applies to a lot of things in my life. And so I realized this year, I just want to see what actually will happen if I don't give up on myself and on journeys that matter to me. So that is why we're here. I want to talk about what YouTube has taught me, even without becoming some big influencer or big YouTuber. Because of this low commitment, I never really stuck to it and sought it out. But even without that, I've learned so much about myself, about what I want to do in this world, and I'm still learning. It changes all the time and it evolves every day. Either you evolve or you get out and you refuse to evolve with the times. So it's a very delicate thing. I mean, I think that's anything with art and capitalism and life. But anyway, that's another rabbit hole we can go into another time and another day. But specifically about YouTube, 6 years ago, I feel like that was the peak of the beauty influencing industry. And I ate that shit up. I was a young girl getting into makeup, and I always loved makeup. I loved watching the old YouTubers, Michelle Phan. I love watching Desi do makeup. And because of that, it opened doors up for me to become a makeup artist. I worked at Nordstrom for some time and worked for Charlotte Tilbury. And I loved doing makeup. I loved makeup artistry. I loved making others feel beautiful. And that was a whole new world that I got into because of YouTube. And because of YouTube and its evolution and the space it gives one to reinvent themselves kind of over and over again is so interesting. It's taught me the beauty and, you know, sometimes the ugliness of documenting your life. And for me, it ignited this whole new passion for filmmaking that I think I knew and didn't know I had. Again, I always wanted to work in entertainment and in some way, shape, or form, but I didn't really realize that I had a love for filmmaking and production and letting myself be creative in different ways. And YouTube really kind of gives us all free reign of that. It's literally free to post on YouTube, and you can literally post don't get crazy and weird, but you could post whatever you want at the end of the day. Like, you can share whatever art you want or whatever the hell you want to say. Good, bad, who knows? Like, everyone's not for everyone, but I think that's so amazing in some ways. And because of that, it's taught me in different ways, in different times in my life, this whole new level of confidence and the power of just putting myself out there. It's taught me that it's really not that serious. Like, life isn't that serious. So kind of go for it in a way. And I think that fear of failure and fear of being seen for so long is what held me back ultimately from really committing to this relationship that requires commitment. This is getting really deep. but I remember, I think it was during the pandemic, I was vlogging and YouTubing a lot more. And long story short, it was, not my most favored era of my life, but in a way, I'm kind of glad I documented it so I can see how far I've come and see how far I've grown, see how much I've grown since then. And one thing that I'm glad it captured is this like raw confidence of a young 20-something-year-old. And I love being able to look back and just like see me in a different era. And sometimes I would look back on those videos and be like, I want to be as confident as her again. Like, where the heck did that go? But it's so interesting being able to look back, and YouTube's taught me the power of confidence and the power that comes from putting yourself out there, not the benefits and positive consequences that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about money. I'm at this point in my life, I'm not a big influencer. I'm not making crazy brand deals. And I was monetized on this platform at one point, but I was in such a negative headspace that I gave up and I lost my monetization. So because of this off and on toxic relationship that I've been in with YouTube, I've seen the ebbs and flows of myself with this platform and how that's been directly correlated with the eras and waves and dips and peaks in my life. And I think the overarching, theme for me is that I'm grateful that it was kind of documented just for myself at the end of the day. Because of YouTube, it's taught me how much I love storytelling and how much more I want to do of that, and how that also changes in which way I want to tell stories, and that changes all the time. I think one is in dangerous grounds when they do stay the same all the time. I think there is a fear of change and evolution, but I think my biggest fear overall is the fear of staying the same and never growing. And I think that's why I always come back to YouTube, because it's always changing. It's always going through its own cycles of creators and growth. And I don't know, it's interesting. It's an interesting, delicate balance of, and I think so is everything. One of the other cool things that YouTube's taught me is the pros and cons of being a generalist, because when it comes to content creation, filmmaking, YouTube, you wear so many different hats. It's taught me to be a video editor. It's taught me to be a set designer on a smaller scale, of course. It's taught me to storyboard. It's taught me to audio capture. It's opened my passion for really cool tech and camera gear. It's taught me how to be a marketer. It's taught me how to be an outreach coordinator, a manager, a project manager. There's so many things that go into making a video, into having social media business, having a YouTube channel and doing this all the time. There's so much more that can go into it as you scale and as you grow. And because of that, it's taught me so much about how to run a business and what I want to do and what I don't want to do, and what one needs to do in order to grow. If this is one of those things that, I don't even want to put this out there, if it's one of those things we all try, and like for maybe, for you watching this, you feel like it's one of those things that you'll put all this effort in, but maybe not a lot will come out of it. I think there's always going to be more that's learned from trying and putting in all that effort than there is lost. At least that's how I feel. I feel like, yes, it's been 6 years of trying on and off again, but I've learned so much about myself and gained so much in my life just from trying at this baseline that I have been. Through the years on YouTube, I feel like I've dabbled and dipped my toe into so many different niches. And ultimately, I realized that maybe I don't know if I'll ever have a niche, or maybe I'm that multi-hyphenate, multi-passionate person that a lot of people are. And I kind of like YouTube because of that. In a way, it lets you do that. I mean, and there's pros and cons to this. I think YouTube will let you and let one person do that to a certain extent. I think those who blow up on just being themselves in their purest form grow and make it. And I think those are the unicorns on these platforms. But no one's stopping you from doing the same and just like seeing where that takes you, because this platform has evolved so much. And I think I've seen so many creators grow years later after they've just like stuck to it. Honestly, that's one of the coolest things to see, is when a creator has been putting in all this work for so long and they like finally are growing. I think that's one of the coolest things I've seen on YouTube. Another way that YouTube's changed my life is that it's brought me really great friendships. And it's changed my life in the way that it showed me how powerful and successful one can be when they're surrounded by like-minded individuals. And that's a lesson that we can all learn from so many different things in our life, whether that be in business or our career or just friend groups. But YouTube and content creation has opened the door to a community of creatives in a way I didn't even know that I kind of wanted to be in. One of my near and dearest friends, her name's also Gabby. We meet every week, and we met because we both had YouTube channels, and she found me on YouTube one day and DM'd me. Like, that's so crazy to think. And that was like 5 years ago now. YouTube has changed my life in so many different ways. And it's taught me how, one, to kind of embrace uncomfortability. Like I'm quite uncomfortable right now. Like, this isn't the most natural thing, I think, for anybody. But it's like a muscle we have to exercise when it comes to this sort of thing. And I'd like to think after 6 years, I have, some muscle built up, and I'm just doing a different exercise now, trying something different, switching it up and seeing if it works. I'm all for experimenting these days and just seeing where things go. And I think that's also life. Like, life in general is our biggest experiment. Without trial and error and trying new things, we're never going to grow and we're never going to find new discoveries for ourselves. I feel like I've been rambling, but that's kind of what I've been challenging myself to do, is let it out there, see what happens. But I've been talking for 36 minutes now, so I should probably wrap this shit up. YouTube has changed my life in so many different ways, whether that be subconsciously or directly. Overall, YouTube and the skills that I've learned and the skills I've obtained because I've ventured into making YouTube videos. So we're celebrating something today. Something I think is a good reminder to us all. I think we should celebrate our smaller wins. I think we should always celebrate our smaller wins. And recently I just reached 5,000 subscribers. I'm laughing because of my beautiful artwork that I'm about to show you. I made myself a plaque. So bad. I did it in like 2 seconds, okay? I didn't have a full sheet of paper, so I, got creative and put like 5 notepad papers together. It's so bad. And then I accidentally drew on this book, which was the point of covering it up, was to not get ink on it. Anyway, the thought is there. I have never claimed to be an artist in this form, all right? But we are celebrating. I'm celebrating 5,000 subscribers, okay? I think, again, small wins should be celebrated more often because I feel like this is a win. This is totally a win, right? And I wrote 5,000 correctly, right? I'm insecure suddenly because my drawing is so bad. No, it's so bad that it's so cute at the same time, Like when something's so ugly that it's lovable. I'm going to keep it like this, honestly. This is my plaque. Next one, I want the real deal, okay? This is my and my little thank you to end this video. At the end of the day, 5,000 subscribers is a really low number in the grand scheme of things, but it's a win for me, especially after 6 years of giving something a shot, to see that people actually watch my content and share space with me is really cool. And I am really grateful for that. And honestly, this was fun to make and it was really silly, but to me, it's a reminder. And I don't know, to my 13-year-old self who wanted to start a YouTube channel, but didn't think she was cool enough or think she was worthy of something like that. This one is for her.